No, what was he?
He had like 2 interceptions in the 97 game. Did you know anything about?
No, my football history, I'm terrible. All right, I'm terrible at that. So.
One other quick kind of football history one. I mean, there have been a lot of games in this series where one team comes in real hot, the other one not so much. They still always manage to be close. I mean, there's a couple blowouts sprinkled in there. What about this series makes the games almost always so interesting?
It's just part of, playing the SEC. This is one of those great rivalries. I mean, it's always been like this, and it doesn't matter, the records going into it. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a 4-quarter game. We know that. We're going to have to play a full 60 minutes because that's just what it takes to beat these guys.
Jeb, in terms of the O-line, I mean, Coach Martin said it was a cumulative effort by everybody, which has led to improvement. What have you seen from the O-line as you kind of stand next to them a lot? And how does
I think that's essential.
did you ever see kind of like a buy-in from your stuff?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that room as a whole, I think they're all just saying, you know what, we need to play selflessly. And you see that because so many guys have stepped up and been in different positions, and more guys have rotated in there than last year. And I think it's a credit to Coach Pitt and the leaders of that, Isaiah Wynn, of course, Lamont, Kendall, and all those guys playing really well together and working really well together. And I think they're starting to challenge and hold one another accountable extremely well.
Given that losing sucks anytime, but does it? I don't know if there are degrees of suck. Does it suck more when you lose to Florida than say anyone else?
I feel like being here in Georgia, everyone's our rival. So obviously last year against Tennessee, that one sucked. Last year against Florida, that one sucked. But there is something special about leaving Jacksonville, having lost, where you're just like, man, coming off a bye week, everybody's feeling good, we're ready to get back into it. I mean, it's I never want to feel that again, so hopefully we won't have to.
Does that shade your opinion of Jacksonville too? No, knowing your experience there, would you like Jacksonville a lot more?
I was about to say we did have a win there against Penn State, so that did feel good. I have experienced the positive side of leaving there.
And you got a ring for that, probably, right?
Yeah, exactly. So,
do you? Certainly Chubb and Michelle and kind of Lorenzo get a lot of credit for coming back for their senior years. But there's a lot of seniors on this team, and they kind of form they're part of the leadership committee legitimately. How much of an effect do you think that's had, if any, on the success that this team has had so far?
I think it's just a special group of guys. It doesn't matter, how old these guys are. We just came in tight-knit group and continued to develop that way, and I think it's really something where we go out there, even the freshmen that we in the grand scheme of things just met, even though it's been a long time since they've been here. We're really playing for one another. I mean, that's why we're out there practicing. We don't want to let anybody else down, and that's why you do it. You're out there sacrificing yourself for somebody else. Coach Shane always says it in the offensive perspective, only one guy has the ball, 10 of the guys has to block, make sure that he gets to the end zone with it. So I think that's the beautiful part about it. We play well together. We love these dudes, and we all love one another, and I think that's what makes it easy to go out on a cold, wet, rainy day and give it your all to practice.
Jeb, does Coach Sinclair have anything special cooked up for y'all this week and for this game? I know they try to keep it.
You never know. Coach always he has interesting wrinkles. He'll always do interesting things to get us in the mindset for whatever it is. He's done an amazing job. I can't give him and his staff enough credit, but I have no clue. I'm sure they'll have something, but you never know with those guys.
Do you think that makes a difference? Like you were talking about 0-3 against Florida, and then obviously avenging Tennessee, and that. I mean, you think that makes a legitimate difference when you having all these seniors have been through those experiences, and when you finally enter into the.
At the end of the day, we always preach it. All that matters is today. They'll take care of tomorrow, so on and so forth. We're worried about one game at a time. This year is different than last year. Really, I think that's it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, if we're 3-0, does that change how I practice today? No. And I think that's the kind of level of consistency that we're going for. I mean, obviously, that's a part of it. You can't ignore that fact, but that shouldn't have any impact on how I feel or perform or think or anything like that.
Do you anticipate a senior somewhere this week saying, my gosh, I'm not leaving 0-4?
I think nobody wants to lose these guys. Nobody wants to lose in general. I mean, this isn't going to be, the week to happen as far as we can help it. And yeah, once again, I think it's that level of consistency where those things shouldn't affect us, and they haven't.
What does Florida defense